We'd like to welcome each and every one. We will now call to order the February 9th, 2023 Lincoln County Board of Education meeting. Is there a motion to set the agenda? Christine, Marvin second. Vote. Gloria?
Yes.
Christine?
Yes.
Marvin?
Yep.
Heather?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Mr. Rowe, we do have folks signed up to speak, correct? Okay, so Mr. Rowe will now go over the procedure about the public comment.
We appreciate everybody coming, and we definitely love public input. So we do have procedures of how we're going to conduct this in an orderly fashion, and I'll go over those rules. Obviously, someone signed up to speak. When you speak, please identify yourself. You represent an organization. Please provide the name of that organization. If you represent an organization promoting the same position on an issue, the chair may request that a single individual be designated as spokesperson. Otherwise, we ask that you limit the number of speakers representing any organization to 3. All speakers will be allotted 2 minutes, and no yielding of time is permitted. I'll be keeping the time clock. I'll hold my finger up to 1. When it's down to 1 minute, and of course, when it expires, I'll say time is up. Please help provide as much opportunity as possible for others to speak by avoiding excessive repetition of points made by previous speakers. Please speak to broad topics such as school programs, activities, facilities, budget issues, testing, or academic issues such as courses of action, alternatives, etc. Please avoid comments that relate to specific board members, employees, or students, or that are otherwise private or personal in nature. This includes the use of a name of a person or their job title. State and federal law prohibit the board from allowing public discussion of these matters. Your comments on these topics may be submitted to me in writing. Please show appropriate public civility. No cursing, either verbally, by spelling, by signage, or clothing. No shouting, no finger pointing, no threats, no name calling, etc. Those violating this provision will be asked to leave the meeting. The format is public input. To save time, the board will not engage in lengthy question and answers or debate of issues. Board members and staff are present to listen and rarely ask questions.
Okay. John Davis.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to speak. My name is John Davis. Over the past 15 years or so, I've had the pleasure of being able to watch my 2 boys grace the fields and the courts here in Lincoln County. All the way from the Parks and Recreation to Highland, to the middle school, to the high school. More than that, I've benefited from the administrators, the teachers, many of which are in this room, and definitely the coaches, a lot of which are sitting around here. All the way from the grade school level, all the way to high school level, to mold these 2 boys into the young men that they're becoming. There's going to be plenty of discussion around the turf project and the track and the benefits of that. That's not my purpose right now. The one thing I am asking, the same thing that I ask my boys every time that they walk on that field or the court, give 100%. Give 110% with a name on that jersey, Lincoln County, your community, your teachers, your teammates, every time. I would ask that the board please do that as well. And by that, what I mean is, we've been talking about this item for about a year now. We've spent about $130,000 in due diligence, architectural fees. Those are sunk costs. The time to make a decision on this is tonight. Whether you vote yes or no, for me, what I would like to see is a motion, a second, and then that you all have an educated, a thoughtful conversation, questions, pros and cons in front of your constituents and in front of the kids that you all are here representing. At the end of the day, you will then make an informed decision and we can move on one way or the other with this project. Thank you all for the time.
Thank you.
Josh Jaggers.
Josh Jaggers.
Now, 2 minutes, Coach.
Yes, sir. I got you. High school strength and conditioning coordinator, head football coach. Mr. Rowe, Board of Education, thank you all for letting us come here tonight and speak. Kids matter most. It's a stated mission for our Lincoln district. I applaud you and all board members before you for believing this mission for our students. Our high school supports this with our beliefs of Every classroom and program must offer a high-quality experience for all students. And our destination is not bound by our circumstances, but determined by pride, intention, and willingness to do whatever it takes to succeed. At least 400 students each year at LCHS and LCMS will use the turf and track at Death Valley once it is finalized. Our band members, middle and high school baseball and softball, middle school, high school track and field, middle school, high school soccer, middle school, high school football teams will use a field that will withstand use by all. Giving these students year-round opportunities will help our music and athletic programs excel and prove that we stand behind our district mission and beliefs. Kids matter most. A school's athletic complex, including its field, track, and stadium, are a beacon of pride for community and school and are often the first impression for visiting schools and families. It was once said, the school system is the house of a community. Its athletic facilities are its front porch. I promise you, the eyes of the students, parents, and community members of Lincoln County and surrounding schools are watching how we choose to provide facility excellence. With your 5-0 vote in August 22, you've shown that we believe in this excellence. We'll now be in the same ranks as many of our surrounding counties in central Kentucky who have these same amenities and are under construction as we speak. Scott County and Great Crossing in Georgetown, East and West Jessamine, Madison Central, Madison Southern, Estill County, Somerset Independent, Southwestern and Pulaski, all of Fayette, public and private, Bergen, Taylor, Russell, Garrett, and Boyle counties. Since the open enrollment bill of the law of July 22, potential families are watching how districts size up to others.
Time, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you. Jason Boyle.
Y'all don't mind, I'm gonna stand up here and look that way, because most of you is behind me anyway. Jason Boyle is my name. On Bluegrass Feed and Supply, Bluegrass Equipment, Boyle Farms in Houstonville. Proud 1997 graduate, Lincoln County High School, in which my mother spent 34 years teaching there, and I'm very proud of that. Hopefully some find this interesting on the eve of this vote, determining the future of our athletic facilities. But I'm going to speak about an educational aspect, not about sports. I thought this would be very interesting to some, and recently I had an opportunity to sit down with Dr. John A. Roush, former president of Center College, 1998 to 2020. I would now consider him a friend with the time that we've been able to spend with each other. And we discussed his thoughts and feelings, his accomplishments over the last 22 years. After a few moments, our conversations soon turned to sports. As many of y'all know, Center has undergone a lot of athletic upgrades. Many don't know this, that Mr. Roush was a former Division I college football coach that led Miami of Ohio to an appearance in the Tangerine Bowl against Georgia in 1974. With that experience, he learned the early stage of importance of athletics intertwined with academics. Upon taking the Center College presidency, he told me one thing he soon recognized, and that was the need for improvement in our athletic facilities. At the time of his employment in 1998, Center boasted 1,400 students with a varsity sports participation rate of 30%. Over the course of the next 22 years, those numbers grew to 2,200 students and a varsity sport participation rate of 60%. That blew my mind. He believed, and now has the data to prove it, that sports and sports participation is one of the keys to a great education and a great environment for learning, whatever the institution may be. In the case of Center, one of the most prestigious liberal arts institutions in the United States, it did several things that he was able to measure. The first was emphasis on extracurricular activities and sports brought in more students. Mr. Roush stated the early days were hard because many of the young women that they were recruiting were not able to come there. Other schools took them away.
All right, time. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Janet Cole.
Thank you. I've been attending these meetings for over 6 months consistently. I've spoke to you at least three times asking for your unwavering support of the field and track expansion project. Tonight is no different. I would ask for this item to be voted on tonight so that we can try to achieve this project before the season starts for both track and football. I was here in August when we decided on a motion that was seconded by Bruce Smith to start the beginning design phase of the renovation project. It was a 5-0 vote. I was here in September when Etta Meek seconded a motion to move forward with BG1 at a projected cost of $2.5 million. It passed 5-0. I was here in December when we moved forward, And now I hope to be here tonight to witness you to again vote and move forward with this project. I was elated when the bids came in, and all of the bids, well, there were at least a couple bids that came in at the BG1 cost that we were concerned about, and some that came in lower. I would ask for your unwavering support to bring this issue to a vote, and that you would vote yes in support of this. I have talked to you about the importance of student athletics on the students themselves, the student body. I would ask for your continued support for our student athletes. I have not in any of the 12 meetings I've attended of this board seen an output or an outpour like this. Every time this issue comes to vote, the football team shows up, the athletes show up, the community shows up. This is how important this project is. I would ask for your support tonight. There are other projects that could be completed. We cannot complete those projects, including a $14 million elementary school, $17 million in renovations to the high school on the $2 million shoestring budget that we're working on. And none of those projects can be likely completed before House bill funds are, before this bill elapses next summer. So again, please put use to the funds. Do not let our county be the only county to let this opportunity pass us by. Coach Jaggers listed off a slew.
Thank you.
I would ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ricky Lane.
Good afternoon. Thank everybody for coming tonight. And you all know well that as I was a former board member, this was something that was extremely important. Along with the CFO Lincoln County School District, we've done a lot of things to prevent or to promote opportunities such as these. And it's obvious it's something our community wants and needs. These young men and women that will have an opportunity to grace these fields will be able to share these memories with generations to come. This just doesn't affect this room full of people. This affects 15, 20, 30 years of people yet to grace the fields of Lincoln County athletic facility. So again, board, love y'all, respect you, appreciate the hard decisions you have to make, but I just ask you to look forward and ask yourselves, what does your community want? And make the right choice. Thank you all.
Thank you. Kevin Carrier.
My name is Kevin Carrier. My wife and I are local business owners and supporters of a lot of the athletics teams in Lincoln County. Everybody has spoke to the facility upgrades and the importance of them. Something that has not been brought up, the importance of the facilities and the opportunities that come along with being a student athlete. I've asked for information and I've yet been able to be given it as to how many of our student athletes in the past 5 years have been given the opportunity to go to college because of their athletics. Not just football, basketball, track, baseball, softball. There's over 50 that I can think of right offhand that are extracurricular, some even in band. Those opportunities may have not been given to those students had they not been athletically gifted. You think of the future of this county, the importance of their further education. Some of them go on to be lawyers and doctors and county judge executives that remain in this county and represent our county well. I appreciate if y'all vote in support of this.
Thank you. Elijah Johnson.
Hello, everyone. I'm Elijah Johnson. I'm a junior at the high school, and I've been running track and cross country for the past 9 years. Over those 9 years, I've dedicated myself to the hours of work and hard work at that. And I feel like it's very important for these track renovations, not just for football and track. Every sport that you can think of that is at the high school, we use it, including volleyball, soccer, tennis, anything. No matter what sport it is, they can use it, as well as at the middle school. I feel like that if we have these track renovations, that we will have athletes that want to come to the track and that want to come do sports, because we're not going to have the fear of hurting ourselves from the conditions of our facilities and track and field right now. It's not only, like I said, it's not only going to help us physically, but it's going to help us mentally. But it's have hold ourselves more accountable to getting better at our sport that we love so much. And I know that for all the athletes in here that we want to get better at sport. And this is, and if we have these track renovations and these field renovations, it is going to help us boost our morale, let us try harder, let us get to college like we want to for sports. I'm pretty sure every single one of us want to go to college for a sport we get better at. So I please ask that you vote for this and give us the okay to continue working at this. It's going to greatly help every single one of us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lon Lane.
I'm Ethan Lane. Sorry. I teach here at the high school, and I played football most of my life. And I've gotten to see all my teammates all turn from little boys in recess and Little League to turn to men. Football shapes our boys into hardworking, good disciplined kids, and completing this project would help our program a lot. I ask you to vote yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Landon Day.
My name is Landon Day. I'm a multi-sport student athlete at Lincoln High School. I've grown up my whole life playing football and looking up to the older players above me my entire life. I believe these upgrades will help produce many opportunities in our school and will benefit not only us, present players, but will benefit the younger kids looking up to us who will be playing on the same field years from now. I ask for this issue to be brought to a vote and vote yes. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Woods Adams.
Hello, I'm Woods Adams. I can't top the last three there, so I'll just say that I ask you, encourage you to think about updating the facilities out there. I think it is a huge benefit to the community in general. If you look at how many are here today, how many grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, nieces are affected. It's just not these guys here, it's their families. So, and it's generations of family. So coming from somebody that's graduated from the school out there and been a part of it, I understand the importance of wearing that jersey and representing where you come from and who you are. So I do want to thank you guys for serving. Like I've said before in meetings first of the year, that you all are in a hard spot. There's other areas that you have to concentrate on, but I do think this is a worthwhile area for the resources we have here. So just thank you for consideration and everybody that showed up in support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jacqueline Walker.
I thought it was signing sheet.
Happens almost every meeting. That's all.
We appreciate all of our. Go to item number 4 on student spotlight, Mr. Rowe.
Just want to take a chance. We have a student board representative. You see her, it's not far right, Chloe Rawson. But she has also been selected to serve on the Commissioner's Student Advisory Council. And that is quite an accomplishment, and we're very proud of you for being selected for this and being a voice for not only the kids, but for the entire community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item number 5 is the superintendent and staff reports. Dr. Rigsby here. Someone else might. Are we getting a pretty good response on the Dolly Parton Imagination Library? Anyone know?
I was at the policy council meeting yesterday, and yes, it's been a very good response.
All right.
And I was supposed to share with everybody, and say Dolly Parton is coming. It's only a cutout. So,
But if you haven't signed up, you have those young students get those signed up for that program. Any other questions or about the reports there? Okay, we'll move on to item number 6. We have a presentation of our winter data and the accountability overview. Tracy?
I can't tell you how excited I am. There's so many people here to hear about our data. This is the biggest crowd I've ever had. We're going to do a little overview of accountability first, since it is a new system. You can go to the next. Yeah. So I'm going to be brief and keep it kind of simple. I've given you lots of information in your packet, but we won't go over all of that. There are several areas in accountability now. State assessment results for reading and math is one area of its own, an indicator. Then we have an indicator for science, social studies, and writing that are combined. English learners, quality of school climate and safety, post-secondary readiness, and graduation rate are for the high school. Now, each of these are like divided by
You can see the weights for elementary reading and math are 51%, and those are broken down evenly within that group. Science and social studies are 40% broken 3 ways within that group. Quality and school climate is 50% for school climate and 50% for safety on the survey. So that's broken down evenly. If we have schools that don't have enough EL population for that 5%, then it's just distributed among the other areas. So you may only get 3 scores for elementary instead of a score for English learner, because we don't have very many English learners in our district. Any questions about that? Okay. The next few, I gave you the cut scores for elementary, middle, and high school, so that if you want to look over our data, you can see where each area is and where we fell in that. You can move on over, and we'll go to some iReady data. Down. There you go. This is the overall cut scores. So all of those little ones go in to make a whole score. So this is the overall score and what color each school would be based on their score. Now we're going to iReady reading. This graph is K through 8, and it gives you the fall data compared to the winter data. I know it's probably very small in your packet, so I'm just going to highlight a few things. Every grade level had growth in the green, as you can see. Our biggest area of growth for kindergarten and first grade, as you can see, this is reading, but even when we got up to, let's say, 6th grade, we had 13% that are on grade level in winter that weren't in August. So we had significant growth throughout every grade level for reading. Math was not as high, but we still had growth in every grade level. Kindergarten and first grade, you had like 30 to 40% worth of growth. And then as you got up to 6th, 7th, and 8th, you were looking at more like 7 to 10% of our kids came from below benchmark to on benchmark. And the majority of the growth happened from our novice level. Like we reduced our novice by 10%, and they didn't just go to apprentice. We gave up to proficient 10%. So that is significant growth. We're not just moving kids up one little small, they are moving up to the higher level. And I gave you some graphs on our special education population, because that is where we are TSI schools for the middle school and high school. So I gave you some specific information on those students if you wanted to look at that further and on their performance. You can go on down. And the next is math data. And this is what the high school does for grades 9 through 11. And you have fall and winter data on there as well. The difference in their data is the fall test is mostly based on the standards from the year before. The winter test is based on this year's standards. So you won't see the growth from fall to winter that you would for elementary, but they still made growth, which is really good news for our kids. Go back to reading. We had over 56% of our kids were proficient in reading in 9th grade, over 42% in 10th grade, and 53% of our juniors were already scoring in proficient level at mid-year. And math, not as high as reading, but we were up 40%, 31%, and about 41% proficient by Christmas time in our math scores in the high school. And then I gave you some EC population scores for the high school as well. And then last is Think Circa. This is our new program we're using for writing. This is Lincoln County High School. In the blue would be like what's editing mechanics is tested. The purple would be on-demand writing. So you can see the high school's on-demand writing grew about 4 percentage points, scoring above benchmark. And their editing mechanics stayed about the same. The next one is middle school. They grew 12 points in editing mechanics and about 8 points in their on-demand writing from August to December. So in most every area, we had really good growth, which is exciting to see because we are looking more like levels that were pre-COVID now. Any questions?
Very informative. Thank you. Item 6 is the consent agenda. Are there any questions there? If not, I entertain a motion to approve that.
Make a motion.
Christine, Marvin, second. Vote. Gloria,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Marvin. Yep. Etta,
Yes.
I vote yes as well. To our action item. Number 8, the Ross review of the bids for the track and field project. Dan?
Yes, I'll just get straight to it. Did have a chance to talk to Coach Jose Bo. He's here back in the back 2 or 3 times this week. Looking at the alternates, he really does not want to do the alternate one. So he would rather do just a restriping with 8 lanes on the track. So I'm not going to recommend alternate 1. Alternate 2 is just it was a little logo on the other side that we really don't have to have on the other side in the Death Valley. That we really don't have to have. It will save some money there. So my recommendation is to take Rising Sun, the bid from Rising Sun, with the alternates 3 through 5. It come out to be $2,013,260. $2,013,260 is what the bid is. That's taking the base bid from Rising Sun with the alternates 3 through 5. That's my recommendation. And I'll take any questions or anything that you got from there.
I have one. If nobody else does. So the 8 lanes would be 36 inches,
Right,
right?
we'll restripe it with 8 lanes. Right, Coach Pope?
Right.
That's what Coach Pope wants.
And right now, there's no, I mean, that's good, like with the athletic association, you know, with their rules and regulations, 36 inches.
And that actually does save, with that in the logo, saves about $57,000.
And there's no moving of bleachers.
No, no. That's resurfacing our existing track and then restriping it with 8 lanes. And the alternates would be adding the shot put, the discus, and we have to do the electric. That's the 3 alternates, 3, 4, and 5.
Any other questions? Okay. Is there a motion to accept the bid for the track and field updates in the amount of $2,013,260 from Rising Sun Developing Incorporation? Christine?
I'll second. I never get to vote on that much money in my life.
Marvin, second. Vote. Gloria?
Yes.
Christine?
Yes.
Marvin? Etta?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. I mean, I know a lot of you are here. If you want, we'll just take a brief moment if you want to leave, but you're welcome to stay.
They already heard the latest.
Thank you.
All right, come back to order. On AP, we have the geotechnical work for the middle school sector there.
You see the bids there, I just recommend you take those bids for solid ground, engineering, that's $13,250.
Are there any questions?
That's what middle school connected.
All right, is there a motion to approve the solid ground engineering to perform the geotechnical work for Lincoln County Middle School connector at the cost of $13,250?
I second.
Marvin, Ed, a second vote. Gloria?
Yes.
Christine?
Yes.
Marvin? Ed?
Yes.
I vote yes as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. 8C, the allocation for math interventionists and instructional coaches. Dr. Murray?